Hello. It has been a little while since I've done a YouTube video, and it's Saturday. I'm bored. Let me silence my phone before it goes off. And I kind of have been in a superhero mood, even though I don't know, there's superhero fatigue. And I just thought it would be fun to show off my Marvel stuff, and then you can see some DC stuff down there. Maybe I'll get through some DC stuff. Um, and the next video, I'm going to shoot them back to back and upload these. If people are interested, maybe I'll do more collection videos. But currently, right now, that is all that I have planned. And there's a lot here, and we'll just get through it. It's kind of organized-ish by character. Normally I have Blu-rays together and then I have my DVDs together just because it looks a little bit cleaner, but I tried to group all the character stuff together because I thought when showing it off, that would be a bit more interesting. And there's some fun stuff here. I, by no means, have absolutely everything, but I would love to have everything at least Marvel has done. I think I'm missing like a Big Hero 6 short DVD set and maybe a Mutant X. I think that's it. I don't have any imprints, but I do have Kingsman and I do have Men in Black. I have Kick-Ass. That's over in my regular A to Z stuff. I don't have it with Marvel stuff. And I have Meteor Man. That's kind of Marvel-ish. But they're not here. I don't know. That's a weird, confusing. Let's just dig into it. It's already been like 2 minutes. And I'm drinking some sparkling ice water, black raspberry. I've already had way too many sips. But let's dig into it. So first off, we have Agent Carter. I'm hoping that this camera is okay. I don't know. It's got a fisheye view. Things are not as curved as that may appear to be. Honestly, I got through half this show, I think, or maybe I only got through 2 episodes. I don't really remember the last thing that happened, but nothing fancy. At some point, I would love to get this on DVD, or not DVD, on Blu-ray, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Then we have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, which, this is all pent up. I watched this show. The first season wasn't too bad in my opinion. I know it wasn't super well received, and it got better as it went. But unfortunately, they only ever put out, I guess we'll get back in, 2 seasons here in the land of America. And forgive me, I'm wearing a sweater because it's absolutely freezing here in Minnesota. It's like 15 degrees. And I have the window slightly cracked just to get some airflow. But yeah, this isn't, I don't know. I got through halfway of this show, or this season, and that's about where I stopped because they'd stopped putting out the DVDs and I'd stopped caring. Maybe I'll get them at Blu-ray at some point. Maybe I'll import the Blu-rays, but I don't even think the whole show has been put out on Blu-ray. I think they stopped after like series 6 or something, or season 6. Moving on to Ant-Man stuff. This is one of the re-released 4Ks, although I'm sure this set is broken. Yeah, I've got a cracked case. Nothing super fancy there on artwork, but I like this movie quite a bit. Maybe not so much the most recent one. I had some faults with it. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp on 4K, the sequel, which this might have been like the first 4K that I bought of the MCU. I think it was a Black Friday sale. It was like $17 or something, or $16 or something. It wasn't really a sale, but at the time it was kind of a sale, because Disney stuff didn't go cheap, but now it is because of Disney Plus. But yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Blu-ray 4K. I quite enjoy this. I love the MacGuffin aspect. I don't know. I'm for the most part entertained. But the most recent one, Quantumania, which is kind of why I was doing this and been watching superhero collections. I don't know. That was okay. I have my issues. We have Marvel's Avengers, and of course, this says Blu-ray, but I, of course, did one of those, I don't know, slipcover swaps. Because Avengers was the first Blu-ray that I owned, so I wanted to keep the slipcover, but then I've got the 4K and the Blu-ray. So I don't know if yes, I was gonna say, I don't know if I've seen all of these on 4K, but I think I have now. And then we have Age of Ultron. I don't know why I keep opening these. They're not anything super special. I quite enjoy this one. I think better than most. Avengers Infinity War. This is going to be a long video. It's already bloody almost 6 minutes. Really enjoy this one. I think I've only actually watched this movie like 2, maybe 3 times. But yeah, it's great. And I've got the whatever Blu-ray slip. I don't care. We have Endgame, which, in my opinion, I kind of like it just a smidge more than Infinity War. But yeah, I really wish I had a much better camera. I tried doing this on my phone, but it was picking up a lot of background noise, and I didn't have the tech to get my mic connected to my iPhone, and I'm bored today, and I'm not driving to Best Buy to get the equipment, especially for something that I might not continue. But yeah, Endgame. Anyway, I like this just a smidge more than Infinity War, but I'm very big on character bits, and this has a lot of wonderful character pieces to it. We have Ultimate Avengers 1, 2, and Next Avengers. I don't quite remember these all that well. I think this was like a Lionsgate deal where they made like 8 animated movies, so you'll see them all later on. But oh my gosh, yeah. So what they did is they put 1 and 2 on one disc and Next Avengers on another. This might be a Canadian release actually, because I see E1 on here and Lionsgate. But yeah, I honestly don't really remember these all that well, so I can't tell you if they're good. And I don't recall this one all that well either, which is Avengers Confidential Black Widow Punisher. I have it in Avengers, even though it really is more of a Black Widow and Punisher thing. This next show, I really enjoyed this show. Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I think these, again, are Canadian Blu-rays. But yeah, this was a fun show. I think 26 episodes. I'd recommend it. I'm kind of tempted to rewatch it, actually. And then we have Avengers Assembly Required. This is the Disney show that they did. But, of course, they didn't put all the episodes out. They just put, I don't know, does it tell me? Handful of episodes. And then, yeah, it doesn't even, well, I mean, it says, but it's not, I don't know. I don't care. I haven't even opened it. I was going to show you, but I haven't opened it. And I stopped caring already. I wish that they would actually properly put these on disc. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky. I'm going to move these onto the floor. Mind the creaky chair. But hopefully we'll get some of those on the Disney Marvel shows on Blu-ray, because I don't know, I guess they're digging into physical media again. Maybe we'll see the MCU, those shows that they've been putting on Disney Plus, because I don't have any bootlegs of those. I've thought about it, but I'm like, I don't want to keep up with buying bootlegs. I don't mind buying an occasional bootleg, but I'm not gonna continuously buy bootlegs for things that should be. Anyway, we have Big Hero 6. This is just the Blu-ray. I don't even know if it has a 4K. Maybe it does. Maybe I'll get it at another point. But yeah, Big Hero 6. So we're on to the Bs. We have the first Black Panther. I don't love this one as much as everybody else, but I think there's 2 really great stories that get undersold. And there's a sequence when T'Challa and I don't remember the other guy's name now, where they're fighting to claim the throne of Wakanda, or to be king of Wakanda, or Or is it just to get whatever? It doesn't matter. I really think that should have been a really raw one-shot fight, kind of like what they do with the Daredevil show, but that's not what they did. I thought that was just a missed opportunity to do something a little unique. And then we have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I quite enjoyed this flick. I think the people that I went to see it with weren't as much of a fan, or whatever. Nothing too fancy there, but yeah, no, I don't know. I liked it, but this is the point where I've started to get burnt out on all of the MCU stuff, and I honestly think it's just because of the shows. And then I have one of these motion comics of Black Panther, Marvel Knight animation. It was alright. I'm not a big fan of these motion comics, but I have the majority of them, I think. And we got Black Widow, a movie that, as everybody has stated, has came out way too late. Should have been a Phase 3 movie, and I think it would be fantastic. Maybe I next time I do a run through these, I watch it in Phase 3. Can I get this back in? But yeah, that's Black Widow. Then we have, on a 4K, we have the Blade film with Wesley Snipes. I quite enjoy this one. And I wished or hoped that they would put out the rest of the Blade movies on 4K. Nothing fancy in terms of artwork, which is kind of surprising. I feel like Warner Brothers is usually quite good at putting artwork on discs. But yeah, and then I have the Blade trilogy that I guess I got at a Black Friday, maybe? Or no, wait. Does this have the... Yeah, no. I think this is a Black Friday thing. Yeah, Blade. I like Blade. I love that second one actually quite a bit, and the third one is whatever. Then we have the Blade series, which is like maybe kind of a continuation of the films. I think I got through like half this and then I stopped. So maybe that's a... Yeah, that's how good it is. I haven't dug into this one yet, and I've been wanting to, which is the Blade anime series. I don't know. I feel like it serves that well, and I'm hoping that the new Blade movie that they're making is going to be good. Of course, I don't want any bad movies out there, but I don't know. There's whatever production issues. Of course, it's March while I'm recording this of 2023, and who knows? We'll see. It's already the 18th. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the date on the computer. Moving on to C's, we have the 90s Captain America film. This is a guilty pleasure of all sorts, and might be out of print now. This particular Blu-ray, I'm sure you could probably still get it on DVD, but I try to at least get everything Marvel on Blu-ray when I can, where I can, how I can. But yeah, I enjoy that one. And then we've got the First Avenger, Captain America: The First Avenger. Again, I don't know why I keep opening these. Nobody cares. But I'm going to keep doing it because, I don't know, why not? I quite enjoy that first one. And then we've got Winter Soldier, which is superb. Probably the best of the three. So, I really like this. I loved seeing it in theaters. It's probably the first MCU film that made me become a bit more consistent on seeing all of the movies in theater. And then I've got the 4K of Captain America: Civil War, which I also really enjoyed this one. This was a fun time as well. But I also have the 3D. I don't have a 3D setup, but maybe at some point I'll get really lucky. So I held on to my 3D copy that I bought at one point. But yeah, I like the movie, so, and it's nice artwork. And then we've got this, I'm assuming is a public domain or bootleggy as heck. We've got the, what, that doesn't even tell me. We got the 40 serial of Captain America. I have watched this. It is, I just heard this snap. It's okay. it's nothing to write home about. And then I have the Captain America and Captain America Death Too Soon DVD combo pack with Christopher Lee, which is quite fun. Yeah. And then we got, oh, look at that, a bunch of Marvel Knights animation motion comic collection. But yeah, Cap rides on in a motorcycle, and maybe he doesn't even have the Super Soldier serum. Who knows? And then I think to wrap up the C's, we have Captain Marvel. Again, this is actually the 4K. It's probably when I upgraded it, it didn't come with the 4K, so I was just like, whatever, I'll keep the slip. Not that it matters, but I don't know. It makes it look shiny. These on the floor. Moving on to the letter D. Then we have the Daredevil director's cut on Blu-ray. Maybe I'll get at some point the theatrical cut, although I don't really remember the theatrical cut as much, but I think that's only on DVD. If I ever find it for super cheap, I'll probably pick it up, but nothing super fancy about this set, and it's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure. And we got Daredevil, the series 1 and 2. It was quite annoying that they stopped releasing these after. Did they get Iron Fist out? I don't even know. Do I have Iron Fist? I don't think they ever put Iron Fist. So yeah, so I've got all of the shows that they put out, but I'm still holding out that they'll put out season 3. I'm sure they will never do it, but it's nice to at least have these, and it was kind of fun for a bit while I still had them when they were pulled from Netflix, and then I don't know if it was like a month or a couple of months before they got brought over to Disney Plus. Then we have, these are 4Ks. Deadpool, again, I just kept the slipcover. And then Deadpool 2, the Super Duper cut. So this one I'll pull out because it's not in a package thing. But yeah. Nothing super fancy. I'm actually amazed at how many discs there are. And the fact that they put both cuts of the movie on 4K, so that's kind of actually cool. Get that actually in there. But yeah, the 2 Deadpool movies, and then we have the Once Upon a Deadpool. I bought it for $4. Apparently, I haven't even opened this yet. I actually don't even think I've seen the cut. I don't know if I care enough to watch that cut. Maybe if somebody says that I should check it out, I'll pop it in. We got Doctor Strange. This is again the 4K. Nothing super fancy. I don't know why. My eye is getting twitchy. Oh my gosh. All right. No edits, right? Then we actually have the 3D as well, because again, I thought maybe at some point I will get a 3D player, and I haven't. The little lenticular thing. If I can open this, but here we are. Although I think the 3D is probably behind the DVD. If I can, yeah. So, who knows? At some point, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I guess we'll find out in the future. If I can snap the app. But yeah, we got Doctor Strange on 3D. This is a plastic cover too, so hopefully it doesn't get brittle, because I feel like that's what happens to those sometimes. And we got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I love the 2 Doctor Strange movies quite a bit. Yeah. Plain Blu-ray. Art on the 4K. That's nice, I guess. But I do quite enjoy this one. Probably better than most. I wasn't disappointed that it wasn't super multiverse-y I mean, it was, but they didn't. Wasn't really madness. Bit of a misleading title, but I still really enjoyed it. And then we have the TV pilot on Blu-ray with Peter Hooton and Jessica Walter. I watched it on DVD. I haven't watched it on Blu-ray, and I think that's a limited run or print. And we have Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, another one of those animated features, which this is probably my favorite of all of them. And then we have Doomed, the Untold Story of Roger Corman's The Fantastic Four documentary. I actually don't think I've seen that. And then I have this On the Moments with Daredevil, Elektra, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I think League is a DC movie? I don't remember. But yeah, I have it here for Elektra, because I bought this as a placeholder until I actually bought Elektra, because this was like, I don't know, $4 whenever I bought it. And I wanted Elektra by itself at some point and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by itself, but I have yet to find a not... It's not expensive, but I just haven't found it by itself yet. And I know I could go to Amazon. I'm sure it's probably $10, but... And then League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So I guess remember that if that is a DC movie when I do DC stuff. Eternals, which is okay. I don't know. I wasn't overly impressed with it. I think of all their movies, maybe this is one that should have been a series. I don't know if they're going to continue any of that. I do admire that it is more... It reminds me more of an A24 film with its style than any of the others. So I like that it's different in style. I just didn't like the story as much. And then we have one of the motion comics for Eternals. And I don't remember if I saw that one. I do have a bootleg of the Fantastic Four from the 1990s. I don't know when this came out. The transfer isn't the greatest, and that's okay, I guess. I don't know if there is a better version of this. I don't even remember where I got this, but I have it. And then we have the Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer. These are okay. It's been a very long time since I've seen them, so they're probably due for a rewatch. Maybe I'll watch all the Fantastic Four movies when that new one comes out. And then we have when did this one come out? Does it say? Doesn't matter. The Four Stick one, or Fantastic Four from, I don't know, 2016 or 18 or something. It was okay. I liked the first portion of it, and then it starts to lose me. Kind of after they get their powers, actually. But yeah, at some point I'd like to get that actually on 4K, even though it's not great. And then I do have the extended edition of the Fantastic Four on DVD, because for whatever reason this didn't get ported over onto a Blu-ray, and it also does have just a good chunk of featurettes. And then we got some animated stuff. This is sealed. I was gonna show you the 94 series. I've seen a couple episodes of it. Couldn't tell you much. And then we have the complete... I know it says complete first season, but I'm like 90% sure this is the only season they ever did of The World's Greatest Heroes. I know I've seen an episode or two when it aired on TV, but I don't really remember much. I remember it being kind of anime-y because it reminded me of like Avatar or something as a kid. Moving on to the G's, we have Ghost Rider Extended Cut and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, 2 movie pack. I'm entertained by these movies. They're not the world's greatest movies, but I like them. And I'm running out of space. We have The Gifted. I haven't watched this show yet. I don't know if I will, because they didn't put the rest of it on DVD or Blu-ray. They only put that first season out. I don't know how many seasons there are, if there's 2 or 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 4K, and then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Again, really it is a 4K. If I can get this back on. I don't know why I'm not as much of a fan as everybody else is of this first Guardians, and I do tend to gravitate towards Guardians 2 again because I love character moments and stuff. So and it has a lot of character moments. I love what they do with Nebula and with Gamora. It's probably an unpopular opinion, but I'm okay with that. Doesn't matter. And then we have Howard the Duck on 4K. I don't know why I bought this on 4K, but I did. I've had this on DVD, I've had it on Blu-ray, and now I have it on 4K. For some unknown reason. I think this is the first proper Marvel movie, yeah? Yeah. And oh geez, it's too much going on. Move these out of the way. And then yes. The next stack here. We're moving on to the H's with Hulk. Ang Lee's Hulk. I only remember a handful of scenes from this. Maybe it's not as bad as everybody says, but I haven't really wanted to go back to watch it. Does this have any fun artwork? Oh, look at that. They both have the same artwork. And then we have The Incredible Hulk, which I think is an underrated MCU film. Nobody really talks about it. I really like this movie, and I'm sad that we didn't get another one like this. And it looks like, yeah, also some artwork. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know, another unpopular opinion, because it reminded me a lot of the show, The Incredible Hulk, which this is the 5 seasons. I've yet to crack this Blu-ray out. I watched the whole show on DVD. I'm hoping these are good transfers. Is it just Universal that put these out? Yeah, because it kind of reminds me of like the Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because I had to go back there and look. Kind of reminds me of those kind of sets, and I thought those looked quite solid on Blu-ray. So, but this is a bit different because it's a bit of an older show. So hopefully it looks good. But I'm happy to have it, and it was like $30 or something on a sale. Then we have Hulk versus Wolverine, Hulk versus Thor. This is another one of those animated flicks. And apparently I've got little cards in there. Hulk versus Thor cards and Hulk versus Wolverine cards and artwork. Didn't know the cards were in there. I'm pretty sure I bought this used, so. Because I like getting movies on sale. And then we have Planet Hulk on Blu-ray. And I don't know if this has anything fun. This is another one where I quite enjoyed the flick. Although, if I recall, they might have messed up like the ending bit, but it was still, I don't know, a fun ride. And maybe one day we'll get like a proper adaptation of it. Then we get the double feature of The Incredible Hulk with Incredible Hulk Returns and The Trial of the Incredible Hulk. So we get some Thor, we get some Kingpin, we get some Daredevil, even though I don't see Daredevil on the back of this. And he's not on the artwork. So this is kind of a bare bones, I guess, release, but hoping one day it'll come to Blu-ray, because it wasn't part of that set. And neither was the Death of the Incredible Hulk. That also wasn't part of the set. I don't know how expensive this is, but either of these. I don't know if these are in print, out of print, or what. But yeah, I enjoyed the show. So, and then we have, I think this is actually a rental copy that I picked up. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk animated series. So this isn't the whole animated series, but it is just a small, I don't know, like first 4 or 5 episodes or something, or maybe 3 episodes of the show. and I quite enjoyed it. And I know it's all on Disney Plus, but I would still love a proper release to go on the shelf. Um, and if I recall, like in Britain or in the UK, they actually got like a lot of these, like Incredible Hulk, Silver Surfer, the Spider-Man series. They actually got like actual releases in all of the different Hulk shows, all of the different Spider-Man shows. Then we have Inhumans, another one of the motion comics. I know I've seen a handful of these. Maybe I shouldn't show that. There might be a little questionable nudity. I don't know if that would count. But, yeah, Inhumans. Moving on to Iron Man for the next little bit. We have that first Iron Man on 4K. Wonderful film. We have Iron Man 2 on 4K as well. Same stuff under. I'm not as much of a fan of Iron Man 2. It's probably on the bottom. These are dirty. I swear I just cleaned these. Probably on the bottom end of my MCU movies. And then Iron Man 3, again, Blu-ray, but it really is a 4K. These cases are like very brittle. That's what I noticed with a lot of my 4K cases after a few years. They are actually quite brittle for some reason. And I swear I cleaned they're all dusty. I would love to hear how people keep their movies. I know keep their movies clean. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with keeping them in plastic wraps like you've seen some of these, but that's a lot of work. And I just want to grab the movie. I think this is part of that Lionsgate line, the Invincible Iron Man, which I honestly don't remember other than that he fights. Is it the Mandarin in this? I think so, yeah. Oh, and this just got cockeyed. Give me 2 seconds. And by that I mean a little bit longer. But yeah, the Invincible Iron Man. It's a shiny, I don't know what paper. Iron Man Rise of Technovore. I don't remember this at all. Maybe there's something fun on the artwork. Oh, look at that. It is a little bit different. I don't know why. There's something in my eye. But I've already committed. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is in my eye. Probably dust from touching all this, honestly. Probably not helping it by touching it. Grab a drink of water. And move on to the next one, which is Iron Man, Hulk, Heroes United. They did a second one of these with Iron Man and Captain America, I think, but they didn't put it out on any release. But, that was sad. I was hoping there'd be something fun. Probably isn't because this is probably like a Disney release. So, oh well. But yeah, they did a couple of these. I watched this. This was not good. It was not good at all. And then we got Iron Man, the animated series from 1994. It says it right there. This is not open. Never mind. I haven't watched this. I might have seen an episode or two as a kid, but I haven't really watched it. So, and it looks like at some point there was probably a sticker over this, and I had to destroy it to get it opened, even though it's not opened. Iron Man Armored Adventures Series 1, which this is kind of a funky set. I actually quite enjoyed this show. Seeing Tony and Pepper and Rhodes as kids, that was kind of fun. If I can get this in here. Oh, come on. Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh my gosh. This whole back thing popped off. Trying to put it in there. Oh my gosh. What is going on? I'm so sorry for wasting people's time. Scratch that. That is not a funky box. There's a bad funky box. And then we have the second season, the finale of it, which looks like they stacked the discs. I'll have to get a better set at some point. Then we have Iron Man Extremis. Actually, I do remember watching this one, and I do remember actually quite liking it. And then lastly, we have the animated series of Iron Man, which is wrapped and I haven't watched. So put these down and get on. We got 3 more stacks, although one of them is really half a stack. I don't have as much to say on it. So up next, Jessica Jones, the complete first season. David Tennant. I'm sure you can see all of the Doctor Who stuff there. Absolutely loved David Tennant in this show. And again, they only put out the first season. I've only ever seen the first season. Honestly, I've watched everything up through, I think it's Daredevil season 3. Or no. I watched Daredevil seasons 1, 2, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, the first seasons of those, Defenders, and then Daredevil season 3, and that's it. Legion. I loved this first season. I had a great time. It's quite the epic-looking lenticular. But unfortunately, they didn't put out the rest of the show. I don't know if it got better or if it got worse. Comes with a little book, The Angriest Boy in the World. Nothing fancy on the Blu-rays. But, yeah, I was kind of hoping that they would put the rest out. I'd love to see more of this show. I'm sure it's on Hulu or something, and I could watch it there. But, I don't know. Something about watching it not on a streaming service entices me just a smidge more. But I did love that season. And then here we go. We got Luke Cage. So I don't think they put Iron Fist out. So this might have been the last. Actually, they might have put this out at the same time as Jessica Jones. And I got it at Best Buy. But yeah, Luke Cage. I guess I could show this one because this is the only one that's not in. Oh, this has got artwork. This has got disc art. What about the discs under it? Are they different? That one's a little bit different. That one there. And then, I don't know if anybody cares. I'm just intrigued. So there's a little bit of a different artwork. Nothing super fancy, but I don't know. So I'm curious if Daredevil and Jessica Jones and all of that have. Actually, Daredevil Series 2 probably is the last. No. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They stopped. That's all that matters. Man-Thing on DVD. They haven't put out a Blu-ray, at least here in America. Maybe they have elsewhere. I like this for all the wrong reasons. Junky Marvel and junky horror, junky sci-fi all put together. Not great, but I got it. I'm happy to have it, and I was happy to see Man-Thing return in Werewolf by Night. Love to see a Blu-ray of that. We got Morbius with that fancy little lenticular bit. I don't know if the discs are any different. This movie, it's not as bad as everybody says. There's my ticket of proof that I was one of the 10 people that went to go see it. But, I mean, I guess there's different artwork. But it's not great. Kind of like the Venom movies, they belong in the early 2000s. And if that's where they were, they would be way better, way more well received. And I do at least I enjoyed Matt Smith because Doctor Who. Then we get The New Mutants. I don't know if this says. Oh, it does. The last of the X-Men films to come out. And I was disappointed with it. I don't know why I expected more. There was a reason why it was being pushed and delayed and all that, but whatever. Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on DVD. I think this is hard to come by. Honestly, I probably paid like $30 for this silly little thing. It's not even worth that, but I wanted all the Marvel stuff. Now, this isn't really Marvel, but I've got it. and that's Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel. I've yet to watch this, and I just got it because there are Marvel characters in it, and I thought it might be fun. And there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. There's a poster. I'm not going to break out the poster. I think a comic book. Yeah, that's kind of fun. And let's get this back in. Maybe I'll watch this at some point. I'm sure all the episodes are on Disney Plus too. They probably look better on Disney. Then we have Dolph Lundgren, his Punisher film, and this has is this a German release or something? I don't know. Or no, it's just Umbrella. So this is an Australian release, and it's got different artwork back there, and then artwork there. Yeah, and this says region B, but I'm pretty sure this is region free because I have the King Kong Lives Blu-ray, and that's region free. I have a region free player, but it is nice if I don't have to hook that up because it actually isn't hooked up. But yeah, the Punisher. And there isn't much about the Punisher in that other than the fact that he calls himself Frank Castle. Then we have, I would take this out, but that would be a pain. And I'm sure there are videos that already have done it. The Punisher 4K Steelbook. This is a beautiful Steelbook. As well as Punisher Warzone 4K Steelbook. These are released quite a distance apart, if I recall. But happy to have those. And then I do actually have the extended cut of the Punisher. So it's going to be weird if I ever watch, because I haven't watched the 4Ks of the two Punisher movies yet. But it'll be weird if I ever watch that first 4K Punisher movie and then I'm like, oh, what is the extended cut? Because I know I've seen it, but I don't remember all that much of it. I don't remember where I saw it, the extended version. I might have borrowed it from a friend or something. But it'll be weird to go from 4K to Blu-ray, or from 4K to DVD just to see the extended cut. We have Shang-Chi, or is it Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings? I really enjoyed this. A lot better than what I thought for the Black Widow film. And this would have been a great kickoff to Phase 4. Things are about to topple. Oh, moving on to some Spider-Man action. Let me just get these out of the way. So we start off with the 4K digibook of the Spider-Man trilogy. This is an amazing set. Although I love and hate it. I love this set because it has a bunch of content. It's got a bit of a booklet in there. That's a funny image. But yeah, a bit of a booklet. And then we get the movies on Blu-ray. And then we get them on 4K. And then we get Spider-Man 2 on Blu-ray. And then Spider-Man 2 on 4K. And then I think the Blu-ray of Spider-Man 2 also includes the 2.1 cut. And we get Spider-Man 3 on Blu-ray and Spider-Man 3 on 4K. And then the bonus disc, which I think also includes the Spider-Man 3 editor's cut. So this really is the premium set to get. It's probably quite expensive now. And yeah, I absolutely love these movies. I grew up on them. They're I honestly like majority of the Spider-Man movies. I'm well entertained by Spider-Man. I grew up reading those comics. And yeah, so I really enjoy these movies, and it's a beautiful set. I just don't like the fact that they are digibook style, because I don't like pulling discs out. It's not good, especially on 4K discs. Those things, just a little smudge and they're frazzled. But then I do, of course, have the Amazing Spider-Man 4K set in a similar vein, just to kind of combat that. Yeah. Pretty sure this has the editors. Yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah. And then we've got the Spider-Man Homecoming 4K with, this is busted. And then we have Spider-Man Far From Home. It is the 4K, even though it's in a Blu-ray thing. This is one of those where I bought the Blu-ray because I really wanted the little Peter Parker's travel journal. Um, and then I figured I'd buy the 4K later. And then I bought the 4K, and it didn't come with the silly little slip. And I was like, whatever, I'll just put it on this. And then I sold off the Blu-ray. And then we have Spider-Man No Way Home, that Walmart slipcover. And then this set, I actually have included my Amazing Spider-Man bonus disc, Enter the Lizard. I got that from some other set. And then we have artwork. I'm sure there's probably artwork on the other Homecoming set, and I'm sure there's probably artwork on both since they're not Disney studio releases. But yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. Happy to have this. This was a blast in the theater. And then we've got, again, it says Blu-ray, but there is a 4K in there of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Great time. I'm excited for the next installment, Across the Spider-Verse. Then we have, this is like, I think maybe the last bootleg that I own of Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is nothing too fancy. Nothing too fancy, but they actually look really good on Blu-ray wherever I got this. I don't remember where. Some website. They did a great job, and I bought it because at the time I really wanted to watch it, and they didn't have it on any streaming services. So I bit the bullet. I think it was only $20-$30, so it wasn't the end of the world to get that. And then I do have the complete Spectacular Spider-Man series. I absolutely loved this show, and I was so sad when it was canceled. And there's also Buy the Game and Disc 1. Very sad that it was canceled, and yeah, it ended too soon. I wanted more, but that's not how it works sometimes. And then I have a shining gold in this with the 67 Spider-Man collection. I bought this, or maybe I got this as a gift way before it went out of print. But I'm so happy to have this, again, because I'm a big Spider-Man person. Such a beautiful set. Yeah. So happy to have this. I need to be better about this, but I'm not going to go through all of that. It is wonderful to have, and I've seen half the discs, and they look, I think, quite good for what the show is, for being on DVD, and I should really dig into the rest of it at some point. And then I also have the Spider-Man, the new animated series with Neil Patrick Harris. I've seen like half the show. It's fine. Not quite my cup of tea, but at some point I'll go back and watch it. And then we have the Ultimate Spider-Man, Avenging Spider-Man, with nothing for artwork. And again, it's a handful of 12 episodes from the Drake Bell, when he voiced Spider-Man. Again, I'd wish they would put out a proper set, not just a handful of episodes. And then Spider-Woman, Agent of S.W.O.R.D. Moving on to the second to last stack. Get another drink. Oh my gosh, we're almost at nearly an hour. I feel bad for anybody that's actually watching this. Not really. I hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're being engaging in the comment section. And then we have a little documentary that I just threw in the Marvel area because it's Stan Lee and Kevin Smith Save the World. With an evening with Kevin Smith, evening with Kevin Smith 2, Evening Harder, and Stan Lee's Mutant Monsters and Marvels. And I think I have one other documentary that'll pop up maybe in this stack. And then this is the bit that we'll zip through real quick because this is half a stack, it feels. We have the Superhero Squad show. So this is, what's the first? Quest for the Infinity Sword. Yeah. I've seen a handful of these episodes on TV when they aired. I was enjoying it then. I'm sure at some point, these are probably on Disney Plus, but I'm sure at some point I'll dig into these. And then we have part 2, which is the Infinity Gauntlet. But it's fun because it really does bring together all of the characters of the Marvel Universe. Not really all, but a lot of them. So you really get to see those interactions that we hadn't had because of the how Marvel was dispersed studio-wise. Next up, I'm just going to move these down here. We have Thor, again, Blu-ray, but I did that cardinal sin, the 4K. I remember not liking it as much when it first came out, but I think because the Thor movies are such hit and miss that this really is the second best one, so it's not as bad. Thor: The Dark World, it's not bad, it's boring. And then Thor Ragnarok, 4K. This is definitely my favorite of the Thor films. Absolutely love this one. And then we've got Thor Love and Thunder, which may be my least favorite of the Thor movies. It is... Phase 4 is such a mixed bag, I tell you. I mean, everybody knows it. You go from Spider-Man to this. Eternals to the... Just kidding. But Thor Love and Thunder, it's... I don't know. Maybe it'll be better over time. Thor Tales of Asgard. This might be the last of the Lionsgate stuff. And it's really off-centered. Not that anybody needs to see me fix it. But yeah, some artwork there. I don't remember it being too bad. It's not amazing or anything, but it wasn't bad. And we got another motion comic, Thor and Loki Blood Brothers. And then we get into Venom. And the Venom 2. I've got the steelbooks just because I thought they looked cool. Part of me kind of regrets that because I'm sure the next one comes out, I'm going to want the steelbook. And I really shouldn't be spending $35 on these. So maybe at some point I will actually downgrade and get like the regular 4K. Who knows? But I've got the Venom movies. Venom 1 is fun. Venom 2 is a bit of a disappointment, but you know what? I still had fun. I don't go into those movies expecting MCU level quality, and I just try to get what I can get out of it. The other documentary is With Great Power, the Stan Lee story, which I've seen the documentaries. They're all quite fun. I'd recommend them. And then moving on to, this is X-Men, but I have it under W for Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is a joke. Maybe they've got some artwork I can share. Some artwork. And then we get, this is the Blu-ray slip, but I think this is, yeah, the 3D, because I wanted the extended cut. So yeah, the Blu-ray, the 3D, and then the extended cut, which I think is the only way you can get this. And I'm hoping it'll never come to 4K probably. But if it did come to 4K, I'm hoping amongst hope that they would put the extended cut on 4K. And then I would get rid of that. And then we have the Logan 4K Blu-ray set, which this is that older release. And I actually just bought this like 3 weeks ago maybe. So the slip cover is a bit damaged. I don't know. People freak out about slips. It's whatever. But yeah, I was excited because I bought this for like $7 or so, or maybe it was $6 from a local seller on Facebook because I don't usually go on there. But yeah, the 4K, the Blu-ray set of the black and white, and this, like I said, is that early release, and it was the only way that you could get the Logan Noir set. And I don't know. Now I'm curious if this is a Canadian release because I see MA15 plus. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I've got it, and I'm happy about having it. If I can get this on, because it's definitely a top 10 Marvel film for me. And then we got Wolverine and the X-Men, the complete series. This is another one of those. I think it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, very similar to Spectacular Spider-Man. But yeah. But I enjoyed it. I watched it, enjoyed it. I'd watch it again. Then we have the Wolverine Collection 5 full-length films, although it's not really films, they're the motion comics. So it includes Wolverine Origins, Ultimate Wolverine vs. Hulk, Wolverine X, Weapon X, Tomorrow Dies Today, Wolverine vs. Sabretooth, and Wolverine vs. Sabretooth Reborn. And it comes up on a whole bunch of discs. There's a couple of these that I actually quite enjoyed, but I think the motion comics come off a little hokey, which is my struggle. And then we have the Wolverine animated series, which I've seen like half of this, and I struggled. And the downside of these, they don't really come with artwork. So I don't remember where I bought these. I don't know if I bought them online or if I think Dollar General had them at one point or something. I feel like I bought them at a Dollar General. All right, moving into the final stack, nearly an hour. I don't think DC is going to be nearly as long, because Marvel takes up 3 shelves, actually just over 3 shelves, and DC doesn't take up as much. We have X-Men, the 3 film collection on 4K, which I was sad when I bought this because it's actually quite damaged. Yeah, but I get the movies 4K Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray. Nothing fancy with the artwork, but happy to have them on 4K. And I still have the old. I should have pulled it out. The first Blu-ray set that they put out. I think it was the first one where they come in individual cases because they are loaded with extras. They have bonus discs for extras. So I kept that. For the time being, I just kind of want to watch the extras, and then I'll probably get rid of it because I don't really go back to revisit extras. X-Men First Class. Would love to get the next 3 on 4K, honestly. With X-Men Days of Future Past, because these are all proper Blu-rays. X-Men Days of Future Past Road Cut. Don't think that has a 4K. But I also have X-Men Apocalypse, and I've got that silver case that has the little X symbol in the center of it. Absolutely loved Days of Future Past. Apocalypse, it's not great, but I don't know, I kind of enjoy it. It's a little bit more refreshing than just Magneto again as the main focus, although he does have a focus in it. But yeah, at some point I would like I think there's a trilogy box that doesn't have Days or Road Cut, but it has the rest of the other. Yeah, has. I'm so tired. I'm nearing the end. First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse, and a 4K set, kind of similar to this, and I'd like to get that. Oh my gosh! All right, we're almost there. My hair is crazy. It's getting wild. It needs to be reassessed. All right. Yeah. Then we have X-Men Dark Phoenix, the last mainline X-Men film that they put out. And this was, oh, that's actually quite pretty. It was okay. I'm kind of happy that they were done with these. X-Men isn't a go-to for me, so. And then Astonishing X-Men motion comic, which includes Gifted, Dangerous, Torn, and Unstoppable. And it looks like it's only on a couple of discs. Then we have the X-Men animated series, which I actually finally watched these for the first time on Disney Plus. I'd seen random episodes as a kid when they aired, but I do have the complete series on DVD, volumes 1 through 5. And the only one that's actually opened is volume 1. So maybe we can take a look at that. Guarantee you that there isn't going to be any artwork. Yep. No artwork. But there's an ad for Blu-rays. They should put it on Blu-ray. Yeah, it's... I mean, I'm happy to have them, but when I rewatched the whole series later last year, I kind of found them to be just okay. I don't know. It didn't age well. I also just, again, I don't resonate with the X-Men characters. But that being said, probably an unpopular opinion, but this next show I enjoyed quite a bit. So we got the first season of X-Men Evolution in these wonky snapper cases. Happy to have them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this show. So this is that first season. Then we have season 2. One of these is broken, I think. And then the third season, for some reason, they put on just in a regular case. But yeah. And then they never put out season 4. I have it digitally on, I think, PlayStation Network. Not that that matters, because I think it's all on Disney Plus now. But that's a show that I really enjoyed, and I'm happy to have it. And then lastly, to wrap up all of our Marvel talk, is X-Men, the animated series. The animated series, which it's not open, haven't watched. Yeah, that is all of the stuff that I have that is Marvel, Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. That's the collection. I'd love to hear, like I said, I know I'm missing a couple things, but I'd still like to hear maybe things that I'm missing or things that I need to get, because I'll keep an eye out. I have a very limited budget nowadays, but you never know. So thank you for, if you stuck around through the whole thing. That's superb. I hope you found it entertaining, even if you were watching it in little chunks or just have it on the background. Otherwise, thank you, like I said, very much, and I will catch you guys in the next one, the DC one.